Hello, my dear students. I hope you all are doing well. So, today our topic is a growth oriented definition of economics. So, before discussing this growth oriented definition of economics, I would like to recap the previous definition, whatever we have studied till now. So, we have done the definition of wealth, a welfare definition, scarcity definition given by the different economics like Adam Smith, Alfred Marshall, and Professor Robbins. So, whatever the definition it is given by the different economists, Professor Samuelson, okay, the one who gave the definition of this growth oriented, criticized the other definition, okay, other definition like wealth definition, welfare definition, and scarcity definition. Why he has criticized? According to him, what he says that whatever the information given, okay, given in that definition is not adequate or does not contain the adequate subject matter of economics, because it does not cover the many issues, okay, particularly the issues of economic growth. So due to that negligence of the concept of economic growth, or the definition according to Professor Samuelson is not correct, not appropriate. So he has criticized and he has redefined economics in his own concept. Okay, once again, listen. Whatever the definition given by Adam Smith, Alfred Marshall, Professor Robbins, according to Professor Samuelson, that definition is not correct, not appropriate, because that does not provide adequate information about the subject matter of economics. So after that, what he did, Professor Samuelson redefined economics in his own way. Now, according to Professor Samuelson, what he says that economics is the study of how people and society choose with or without the use of money, which have alternative uses to produce various commodities over time and distribute them for consumption now or in the future among various people in the society. So according to Professor Samuelson, what it says that whatever the concept of economics we have studied till now that are static in nature in a sense that explain the current situation or the current performance of an economics or the present performance of an economy. But according to Professor Samuelson, what he says that whatever the resources, okay, we are using for the production of various goods and services, that should not remain static. That does not that should not only explain the present situation, but we have to use the resources in such a way that the future generation will also be able to use the resources, or the resources should be sufficient for the benefit of the future generation. Okay, so that is the main concept. Here we can say that in a simple way he is talking about the sustainable consumption, means use of resources, use of productive resources in such a way that it will benefit our present generation or present situation. At the same time, it also benefit or it also help the future generation. So here he has mentioned that which have alternative uses. To some extent, Professor Samuelson is agree with the definition given by Robbins, Professor Robbins. Okay, we have done in the scarcity definition that human wants are unlimited, resources are limited, and the resources whatever we have that have alternative uses. So he agree with the view or the concept given by Professor Robbins, but he added few things. Okay, what is that few things? He added that there are resources or maybe the production increases over time. So by adding time, he has broadened the concept of economics. So how he has broadened the concept of economics? He has mentioned that with the respect to time, the production also increases, production of goods and services also increases, as well as the different resources used in the production or the factors of production also increases over period of time. There are some resources, some factors of production that may not increase, but some other factors of production are there that increases over period of time. I will give you example like how he has mentioned that some resources increases over time and some resources remain constant, that does not increase. So when we take the example of land, so land may not increase over period of time. Whatever the quantity of land we have, that may remain constant, that may remain fixed, but some other factors of production are there. Okay, some other factors, suppose say labor. Okay, labor, now labor increases over period of time. As the population of a country increases, the labor force also increases. So here the labor is a dynamic. So according to Professor Samuelson, what it says that economics is a dynamic concept. Okay, that increases means the resources, okay, or the production may increases over period of time. It does not remain fixed, it does not remain constant. The economics is not a static concept, it is a dynamic concept. Now, next, Professor Samuelson's definition emphasizes on the following points. Okay, his concept of economics is based on the following points. Number one, emphasis on economic problem. Okay, so like Robbins, okay, like Robbins, Samuelson also agree with the problem of choice arising out of the scarce resources and unlimited wants. Thus, this definition gives a realistic explanation of economic problems. So, whatever the definition, Professor Robbins has mentioned that he has mentioned about the scarcity of resources and human wants are unlimited. So he also agree with the same concept that yes, to some extent the economic problem arises because of that problem of choice arising from scarcity of resources and unlimited wants. So this view is considered as a realistic explanation of economics. Okay, next point we have long-term perspective. So whatever the view of economics he has given, Professor Samuelson has mentioned in his definition that has long-term perspective. So the problem of scarcity of resources is not merely confined to the present time but also to the future. So according to Professor Samuelson, wants are not static, wants are dynamic in nature. Okay, and that wants multiply over period of time. Okay, whatever the wants we have, that multiply over time. So along with the expansion of wants, the resources also increases over period of time. So what Professor Samuelson says that whatever the wants we have, that is not static, our wants are dynamic in nature. And once our wants are dynamic in nature, when our wants expands or increases, so the resources to satisfy our wants also increases over time. So resources does not remain constant, or that is not static. So here we can see that along with the expansion of resources, wants also increases over period of time. Hence we can see that we are not merely concerned with the allocation of given resources but also with how the expansion and growth of resources is to be used to cope up with increasing human wants. So once our wants are increasing, so the resources will also increase. And how to cope up our wants with the increasing amount of resources, that one we have to study in economics. So that's why it is called long term perspective. So first of all, we have to know that whatever the ones we have, that is not static, that is dynamic in nature, that keeps multiply over period of time. So when our wants multiply, the resources also increases to satisfy our wants. Okay, third point, we have universal problem. So Samuelson definition is not merely a dynamic in content, it is also wider in scope. So Professor Samuelson has rightly mentioned that the resource allocation, the problem of resource allocation is not only the problem of one nation or one economy. It is not only the problem of barter economics, but it is also the problem where money is being used as the medium of exchange. So wherever, whether it is a barter economics or money used in the exchange economy, so this is a universal problem and applicable to every economy. Okay, next one we have broader perspective. Broader perspective means whatever the concept of economics we had earlier, now that concept has a broader. So according to Samuelson, he has broadened the concept of subject matter of economics so as it includes the consumption, production, exchange, distribution and economic growth. Okay, so in his definition all the concepts are included there. It is also about consumption, production, exchange, distribution of resources and economic growth. So among all the definition whatever we have studied, definition of wealth given by Adam Smith, a definition of welfare given by Alfred Marshall, scarcity definition given by Professor Robbins, among all this definition is considered as a superior, okay, and universally accepted among all the definition of economics. So why it is universally accepted? Because whatever the concept, whatever the definition he has mentioned here, that includes all the concept of economics given by the other economist, as well as some additional features or additional points are also included in his definition.